Children below 2 years cannot have screen time at all.
When we say excessive screen time, so how much is really too much?
So many times we tell the parents, please make home a little boring at least during the weekdays.
What does excessive screen time do to our children, right? What have you seen in your experience? I'd love to hear from you from as a educational psychologist, as an ophthalmologist, and even as a teacher, right? What have you seen that's alarming and scary at this point?
See, there are a lot of psychological problems that children face when they have excessive screen time. When I say excessive screen time, children below 2 years cannot have screen time at all. 2 years to 6 years, you must have only guided entertainment, which means when your child is watching something, there is another person sitting and watching the same thing with the child. Because initially it used to be YouTube and YouTube Kids. We used to say, okay, please have only YouTube Kids for your children. But today, even in YouTube Kids, there is a lot of abusive content. There is a lot of violence. There is a lot of inappropriate content that a child should not see, that is presented to them in a cartoon format. And that's not okay. So you must know what your child is watching and limit screen time to less than 45 minutes a day. When I say screen time, it includes TV, phone, iPad, laptop, all of this put together. And if it's TV, it's fine, okay? At least 45 minutes of TV watching, you know what the child is watching. But if you're sitting there and doing only this all the time, your child is doing this, very, very dangerous. You know what will happen? The question I'm coming to. This child will lose interest in everything else around it. Nothing will interest the child. Recently, I went to a birthday party. This party had bubbles, had caricature, had chocolates, return gifts, cake, dancing, singing, magician, which will, for us in our age, it'll entertain us.
Excited.
Exactly. But children were not excited. They did not like it. Only 30 minutes they were able to do that. And after 30 minutes, they go back to their mothers and say, Amma, Amma, phone, 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 phone. And this is dangerous according to us. That is not okay. You cannot grow up to be a normal human being. There is a lot of other problems. There's social isolation, desensitization, de-individuation, over-sexualization, name it. This child will face it in adolescence, and it's going to be very difficult to handle these children in adolescence. All these problems, you will start seeing these problems when your child steps into 2-digit age, 10 years. Until 9, everything will be okay. See, until then, they will have other problems like speech delay. A child that's supposed to actually speak proper sentences when they are 4 and 5 years old, they will not speak. Even 7 years old, they won't be able to frame sentences properly. So when a child is not able to express with words, that child will be an angry child. When they're not able to express, they become angry children. They become very hyperactive. They become very aggressive. And then parents try to control them with chocolates and sweets and say, okay, darling, have this. And that worsens the condition. When the child reaches 7 years, it's okay to have 1 hour, 1.5 hours of screen time. See, these tuition classes online school is not considered screen time according to us. Maybe for an ophthalmologist, yes. But according to an educational psychologist, for a screen time is entertainment. Especially video games and, these YouTube shorts. Highly addictive.
When we say excessive screen time, so how much is really too much, right? So there's no agency which has sort of quantified that. But this Indian Academy of Pediatrics has recently given such nice guidelines. They've made it very simple. So any screen time that is encroaching into the child's daily routine, which includes schoolwork, like you said, educational screen time, and maybe, family time, physical activity, meal time, sleep. Anything that is coming in the way of a normal routine is considered excessive screen time. So one way of looking at it is, purely entertainment. Now, as an ophthalmologist, I'm going to look at the total screen time, right? So educational screen time included. And the guidelines are slightly more relaxed because we are also, taking in the educational screen time. But, this is broadly another way of looking at it. And then, logically, then excessive screen time is affecting their physical health. They're getting very less physical activity. They're becoming couch potatoes. They'd rather sit with their phone than go out and play. So video games are preferred over physical.
As an ophthalmologist, now she said for education purposes, it's okay. Right. What would you put a limit on?
These are IAP guidelines, the Indian Association of Pediatrics guidelines. So again, less than 2 years, they say that it should be zero screen time. Between 2 to 5 years, up to an hour and a half is all right. And beyond 5 years, up until 17 years, 2 hours is still okay, right? But there are a lot of, 2 hours is okay. This includes educational screen time as well. Up till 17 years.
Up till 17 years. Try talking that to a teenager.
Do you think I said my expertise doesn't work with my daughter? So
See, I have children who in my clinic, I've seen children with screen time 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day. Last week I had one boy 18 hours. I'm like, when are you sleeping, son? They stop going to school. That's another problem. There is a slow onset of school refusal if there is excessive screen time. Yes.
It is.
And there's a large number of children like that. Large number, I must say.
Is that because they're getting some kind of a gratification by looking at screen at home versus what they will get when they go to school?
I'll tell you what, looking at the screen is a high dopamine activity. Yeah. Going to school is an effort that the child has to put. It's work.
It's comparatively dull.
Exactly. And if it's a history teacher who's having boring classes, then the child is not done at all. The child does not want to do that. And when the child is very comfortable at home and telling, I like to sit at home and watch TV, when the home is more interesting during weekdays, child does not want to go to school. So many a times we tell the parents, please make home a little boring, at least during the weekdays. I know I might be contradicting the modern parenting techniques, but the number of cases I see, I would say, please stick to this. Yeah, many a times I tell these parents, very comfortably, you show them a screen and you feed them. Do they have TV or iPad in school during lunchtime? And the teacher has to ensure all 30 kids in the class are having their meal properly. The plight of the teacher is power, no? I feel so sorry for the teachers. Really, it's not easy at all. For us, we think, okay, I paid the fees. I'm sending my child to school, and now it's the teacher's work to get everything done. My child is to be perfect in school. That's not possible. What you do at home is what the child will do in school.
Parents are to be blamed, because we are the ones who've introduced our kids to technology, and we are the ones who've used a screen as a ready-made babysitter. Yeah.
So, so that brings a point, because I always say this, it is not the children of this generation, it is the parents of this generation.
I feel that we as parents of this generation have a unique challenge, right? Nobody taught us how to deal with this, so we are also learning on the job. So, it's work in progress on both sides. So I think we need empathy for both sides.
Yeah.
That's true.